notice him before I understand what I'm noticing. It's the way the restaurant quiets. Not stops, quiets. The kind of silence that spreads like oil across water, reaching tables that had no reason to care about a single man in a charcoal suit walking past the wine list and straight toward the private dining room. His hand doesn't touch anything. His body doesn't brush the servers. And yet they move. They simply move, like he's exhaling an invisible current. My date, Marcus, doesn't notice because he's mid-sentence about cryptocurrency volatility, and I'm doing what I always do: smile, nod, glance at my phone to seem busy enough to be interesting. We've been dating for 3 months. He's handsome in the way men at my firm are handsome, expensive haircut, gym routine that shows in his shoulders, a Rolex that catches the candlelight. He bores me with the precision of a metronome. But this man makes my spine recognize something my brain hasn't cataloged yet. He's past us now, disappearing into the private room. The noise reassembles itself. Conversations resume. A woman laughs too loudly, overcompensating. I feel Marcus's hand on mine. When did he place it there? And I realize I've been staring at the closed door. You okay? Marcus squeezes my fingers. Fine. Sorry. Work thing. I lie smoothly. It's my superpower. At Markham & Associates, I'm a contracts lawyer who specializes in making people feel safe enough to sign away their futures. Lying is just efficient communication. The evening continues like water filling a glass, slow, inevitable, forgettable. Marcus orders the sea bass. I order the halibut. We discuss his mother's divorce, my upcoming trial, the weather, the particular ache of living in a city that feels too small and too large simultaneously. And then, the private room door opens. He emerges. And now he's looking, not scanning, looking. His eyes move through the dining room with the focus of someone counting inventory. And when they land on me, they stop. They actually stop. His face doesn't change. No smile. No acknowledgement. Just a pause so brief that if I blinked I'd have missed it. But I don't blink. I can't blink. His eyes are dark, not brown, not black, but something without a name. Something that looks like it's already seen you naked and found you exactly as stupid as he expected. Then he turns away. He speaks to the host in a language I don't recognize. Something romance, something continental. His voice is low, almost gentle, and the host nods like he's been blessed. Marcus is saying something. Don't you think? I tear my eyes away, and the absence of that dark gaze feels like dropping from a height. The new rooftop bar downtown. They have that molecular mixology thing. Sure, sounds good. I don't sound like myself. I sound like someone pretending to be myself. And Marcus doesn't notice, because men like Marcus never listen closely enough to catch the difference. The rest of dinner dissolves into background noise. My body is here nodding, eating, existing in the geometry of a perfectly acceptable relationship. But something inside me has walked through that private room door and is now sitting at a table I can't see, across from eyes that see too much. When the bill comes, Marcus reaches for it without hesitation. I watch him sign the credit card slip. He stands, offers me his jacket. We move toward the exit, and I take the long route past the private dining area. Not because I want to, because I can't help it. The door is slightly ajar. Through the crack, I catch a glimpse of dark wood paneling, the edge of a table, and a woman's hand holding a wine glass. The hand is elegant. The woman is not me. Of course she isn't. The November cold hits my face as we step outside, and it feels like permission. Marcus hails a cab. He'll drop me at my apartment in the Upper West Side. We've done this choreography before. He kisses me outside the restaurant, and his mouth tastes like wine and intention. He's probably thinking about what happens next, whether I'll invite him up, whether he should ask or just assume. I'm tired, I tell him, and it's almost true. I am tired. Tired of feeling nothing. Tired of men who smell like cologne and confidence and absolutely nothing that makes my skin want to come off. The cab ride feels long. My reflection in the window is ghostly, superimposed over the city lights, and I barely recognize her. Who is this woman who stares at strange men in restaurants? Who feels something shift in her chest at the voice of a stranger speaking a language she doesn't understand? My apartment is small, expensive, exactly as sterile as I've designed it. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the park. Art that matches the furniture. Books on shelves, unread. I pour myself 2 fingers of scotch and stand at the window, watching the city breathe. That's when my phone vibrates. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something that made me stare makes me press the phone to my ear. Miss Eleanor Hart. Not a question. My name in a voice like gravel and smoke. The scotch burns on the way down. Who is this? Someone who just watched you pretend to be happy for 2 hours with someone beneath your intelligence. A pause. Wind in the background, he's outside. You have a tell, Miss Hart. When you're bored, you touch your collarbone. You did it 17 times tonight. The phone feels very heavy. The city suddenly feels very small. That's stalking, I say, and my voice doesn't shake. I'm proud of that. That's observation. There's a difference. But I don't expect you to understand that yet. His accent is faint but presents something European, something carefully controlled. I'm going to ask you something, and I need you to listen very carefully. When you answer, you're going to tell me the truth. Not because I'm threatening you, not yet, but because you already know something is different now. You can feel it. My reflection in the black window shows me with the phone pressed to my ear. Scotch suspended, expression fractured between fear and something that looks dangerously like hunger. Who are you? I whisper. Someone very interested in why you know my family secrets, Miss Hart, and why you haven't told anyone. Yet, the phone goes dead. I stand there for a long moment, frozen in my apartment like a fly in amber. My scotch is warm. My heart is loud enough to hear. And somewhere in the city outside my window, in a restaurant or a car or a place I can't imagine, there's a man with dark eyes and a voice like warning, and he knows something about me that I don't understand. He knows that I know something about him, something dangerous. I don't sleep. I sit on my bed, fully dressed until 3 a.m, phone in my lap, waiting for him to call back. He doesn't. At 3:47 a.m., I do something I never do. I call a client contact, a retired FBI agent named Hale, who owes me a favor from the Dimitrov case. His voice is rough with sleep. Eleanor? What's wrong? I need to know about someone. I don't have a name. I have a voice and an accent, and I stop. How do I explain this? He knows who I am. He called me tonight and said I know something about his family. Silence. Then, did he threaten you? No, not exactly. Then why are you calling me at 4 a.m? Because I'm terrified. Because I felt something in that restaurant that I've spent 3 years with Marcus carefully avoiding. Because this stranger on the phone made me feel like my own skin was too small. Can you find someone using audio? A voice? Eleanor, whatever this is, I need to know. By Monday, I'm functional again. Showered, pressed suit, hair professionally styled. I walk into Markham & Associates and sit at my desk like nothing has fractured. My assistant brings coffee. I review contracts. I take a call with opposing counsel about discovery timelines. The world has snapped back into focus, and the Friday night call feels like something that happened to someone else. Hale doesn't email me. That's answer enough. It's Wednesday when I receive a delivery at the office. No return address. My assistant, Margot, 24, engaged, genuinely kind, brings it to my desk with the kind of raised eyebrow that says, "This is weird." Inside the pristine white box is a single item, a copy of the Played edition of Baudelaire's poetry. French, expensive, the kind of book collectors kill for. On the inside cover, someone has written in precise handwriting, "Les fleurs du mal." You should read the poem about eyes that betray truth. V, just V. I spend the afternoon translating the passages I remember from college. French, rusty, humiliating work until I find it. Sed non satiata. A poem about a woman who is never satisfied, who contains dark desires, who is a beautiful tomb. The eroticism of it hits me differently when I read it alone in my office, with the door closed. That evening, I take a cab to the library. I pull 3 books on organized crime families in New York. The Metropolitan Museum has an exhibition on Baroque painting. I'm reaching, looking for patterns, trying to find a V. But the city is full of V's. Victor, Vincent, Valentine, Vladimir, hundreds of dangerous men with 1-letter names. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. The book. Did you understand it? I stare at the message for 5 minutes before typing. Who are you? Someone your firm represents would never accept dinner invitations from. Someone the FBI follows sometimes, just to make sure. Someone who thinks you're wasted on men named Marcus, who order the safe fish. My hands are shaking. I type, "Stop contacting me." The response is immediate. "You're still holding the book." That's not "stop contacting me." That's "I want to understand." So let me explain. Your firm prepared contracts for a shell company called Meridian Holdings in 2019. That company laundered money for my family. You knew. You signed off anyway. You also know that the real owner of that company was never disclosed to your partners, and you know who that owner was because you read the complete file, not just the portions your supervising partner prepared for you. You read the entire file because you're thorough, because you're dangerous, and because you wanted to understand what we do. I feel the blood drain from my face. He's right. All of it is right. I had read the complete file 2 years ago, in a moment of curiosity that felt like reaching into a fire, and I'd said nothing. Not because I was protecting him, but because some part of me understood that the law I practiced was just a costume we all agreed to wear. I could destroy you. No, you couldn't. But you won't, which is infinitely more interesting. Why would I protect you? The response takes longer this time. Long enough that I think he's not going to answer. Then, because tomorrow at noon, your law firm will be contacted by the SEC. They're investigating Meridian Holdings. They will subpoena all your files. Within 48 hours, you will be asked to testify about your involvement in the documentation. You will be offered a deal if you cooperate against your firm, and you will have to choose between your career and your silence. But if you choose silence, you won't survive the choice alone. So tomorrow at noon, 1 minute after you receive the call from the SEC, I'm going to call you, and I'm going to ask you to disappear with me for exactly 1 week, just 7 days. And by the end of those 7 days, you will understand why you can't destroy me, and I will understand why you're worth the risk I'm about to take. The SEC calls at 11:47 a.m. on Thursday. I close my office door. The lead investigator, a woman named Chen, with a voice like efficiency, explains the subpoena in bureaucratic language that translates to, "Your firm is going down, and you can save yourself by helping us." At 12:01 p.m., my phone buzzes with an unknown number. "Hello, Eleanor," that voice says. Just my name, and it sounds like he's standing very close. "Pack a bag. Small. Nothing with tracking. No phone, I'll provide one. 1 hour. Where are we going? Somewhere you can't testify because you can't be found. Somewhere you can ask me questions and get honest answers. Somewhere that's not safe for you, but might be necessary. 1 hour, Eleanor." And Eleanor? A pause. The sound of a smile I can feel through the phone. "Wear the blue dress. The one you wore to Markham's partner dinner last month. The one that made you feel dangerous." The line goes dead. I stand in my office, surrounded by the architecture of my former life, the diplomas, the awards, the photographs of me looking competent and empty. My hands are shaking. My phone buzzes again. An address in Red Hook. An apartment number. Instructions. And I realize, with the kind of clarity that feels like drowning, that I'm not going to call the FBI. I'm not going to tell them no. I'm going to pack a blue dress and walk into the fire, because I've spent 3 years pretending to be alive. And this stranger, this V, this dangerous man with eyes like night, is the first thing that's made me feel like I exist. I pick up the Baudelaire book from my desk, and I start to pack. The apartment is exactly what I expect. Expensive, minimal, designed by someone who views aesthetics as intelligence. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the East River. Exposed brick. A kitchen that's never been used. Modern art on the walls, a Rothko print. A Basquiat lithograph. The furniture is low and angular. Everything sharp lines and control. He's not here yet. I stand in the center of the living room in my blue dress, my small bag at my feet, and I feel like a prop someone's arranged. The fear has transformed into something else, not quite excitement, but its sinister cousin. Anticipation with teeth. There's a kitchen island with a bottle of wine already opened. A Sancerre, expensive enough that the price tag alone could fund a week of my life. 2 glasses. He knew I'd come. He knew I'd be here at 1:47 p.m. on a Thursday, abandoning my career, walking toward danger like it was home. I pour a glass and watch the city darken beyond the windows. A storm is building, the sky is turning, that particular shade of gray that looks like bruising. The Hudson moves restlessly below, already responding to the weather system approaching from the west. The door opens. He doesn't announce himself. He simply exists in the space suddenly, like he's been there the entire time and I've only just developed the ability to see him. In daylight in a space that belongs to him, he's even more brutal than I remember. His suit is charcoal, perfectly tailored. His shirt is white. His eyes are darker now, lit from behind by the dying afternoon light, and they move across my face like he's reading something written in a language only he understands. "You came?" he says. Not a question. I'm here. My voice sounds different in this space. Smaller, more honest. Your firm is probably in chaos. Your supervising partner called the police at 12:30 p.m. You were reported missing. He walks to the kitchen island and pours himself a glass of wine. Doesn't drink it, just holds it. Your mother is being called. They're probably telling her you might be in danger. By tomorrow, there will be a missing persons report. The FBI will be looking for you. They'll be looking at Marcus first. He's the most obvious suspect. They'll destroy his life for a week before eliminating him from consideration. The wine tastes like nothing. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to understand what you've chosen. This isn't romantic. This isn't some dark fantasy where a man saves a woman and they disappear together. This is you, knowingly, becoming part of something that will destroy your former life. Your mother will think you're dead for a while. Your friends will grieve. The law will hunt you. And you did this with full knowledge of the cost. He drinks his wine. I needed you to be certain. I needed you to understand before we could begin. Begin what? He sets his glass down with deliberate care. Then he walks toward me, and my body forgets how to be still. His hand comes up, not touching, just hovering near my collarbone, the place where I touch myself when I'm lying. Do you want to know who I am? Yes. My breath is very shallow. My name is Valentino Rezzi. My family has controlled organized crime in 5 boroughs for 40 years. I have personally killed 7 men. I have ordered the deaths of 23 more. I run an empire built on cocaine, protection money, and corruption so deep it reaches the mayor's office. I am the worst thing that could happen to you. His hand is still not touching me. I am also the only person in this city who could keep you alive for the next 7 days. And I'm also... He pauses. His hand drops. I'm also someone who read your deposition in the Dimitrov case. Who saw you stand in court and methodically dismantle a man's defense. Who watched you use language like a weapon. Who heard you speak and recognized something in you that I thought was only in mirrors. I can see the vulnerability in him now. It's like watching a building reveal its structural cracks. His jaw is tight. His eyes are very still. You're dangerous, I whisper. Yes, you're a criminal. Yes, you're going to destroy my life. It's already destroyed. I just acknowledged it first. The rain starts suddenly, no gradual build. Just torrential gray curtains against the windows. Thunder rolls across the water, loud enough to feel like the building is responding. And in that moment, with the storm settling into the city like a living thing, he reaches out and touches my collarbone with one finger. Just one. Just the lightest pressure. The contact sends something electric through my entire body. I need to know if you want to run, he says quietly. I need to know if you're going to change your mind. Because if you are, I can make this disappear. You'll be found wandering near the FDR Drive with memory gaps from the drug I slipped into the wine at the restaurant. No one will blame you. Your life will be chaos, but it will be salvageable. I look at him, really look at him, and I see what's underneath the armor. I see a man who has made terrible choices in service of staying alive in a world that demands terrible choices. I see someone who looks at me and sees a mirror, sees a woman willing to bend the rules because the rules never fit right anyway. What happens if I stay? I ask. You learn who my enemies are. You learn which politicians and judges and police captains sleep in my family's pocket. You learn about the money, the networks, the infrastructure that keeps 5 boroughs functioning in ways the law pretends doesn't exist. You learn the names of people powerful enough to make senators flinch. And then, he leans closer. His mouth is near my ear, and then I have to kill you, because you'll know too much. Or I have to keep you. And keeping you means making you complicit in every crime I commit from this moment forward. It means the FBI will hunt you forever. It means you can never go home. It means you belong to me, completely and without exception. For as long as we both live, I should be terrified. Some part of me is. But another part, the part that's been silent my entire life, is finally waking up. Then keep me, I say. His hand moves from my collarbone to my jaw. His thumb traces my cheekbone with startling gentleness. And then he kisses me, and it tastes like rain and ruin, and the first honest thing I've ever felt. The first 3 days are a study in controlled chaos. Valentino Val, he tells me to call him. Though it feels like a secret even when we're alone, operates from the apartment with the precision of someone managing a war from a bunker. His phone is constantly ringing. Not ringing, actually. Buzzing, vibrating. He works through encrypted apps I don't understand, speaking in Italian to people whose names I never learn, making decisions that shift the balance of power in the city's underworld. the way casual people might decide what to order for lunch. I watch him work. It's hypnotic, seeing someone function at this level of competence. There's no hesitation, no self-doubt. When he says something, people move. When he asks a question, people answer with information so detailed they've clearly spent hours preparing it. On the second night, he takes a call in the study while I'm pretending to read in the living room. His voice changes, becomes something harder, more dangerous. I hear the words, "the heart girl," and my body goes rigid. "She's not a liability," he says in Italian. I've been studying it obsessively, picking up fragments. She's leverage, and she's useful. No discussions. A pause. Whoever is on the other end is arguing. Tell Sergei that if he has opinions about my decisions, he can express them at a proper sit-down. Until then, he can stop inquiring about my guest. Val's voice drops. And tell him the heart girl is mine. Not because she's leverage, because I decided. There won't be a second warning. The line goes dead. He emerges from the study, and his face is very calm, very composed. But I can see the predator underneath now, the thing that kills without hesitation. "Your family is fighting," I say. He doesn't ask how I know. He just sits beside me on the sofa, very close, and his hand finds my knee. "My uncle Sergei thinks I'm sentimental. He wants you disappeared, and the heart situation cleaned up with bureaucratic finality. There's a judge on payroll who could dismiss the SEC investigation with a ruling that corrupts the original evidence. You become unnecessary, and you don't agree. I agree that you know too much. I agree that you're a risk." His hand moves up my thigh, but I also agree that sentimentality exists for reasons Sergei's 70-year-old brain can't comprehend. Sometimes the risk is worth the liability. What changes if you keep me alive? Everything. Nothing is clean anymore. Every move I make has to account for your survival. Every enemy I create becomes someone who could find you, hurt you, use you to hurt me. He leans closer. I have to decide if that's acceptable. I have to decide if you're worth that cost. And his mouth touches my neck, and I feel his breath against my skin. Ask me in a week. Ask me when you understand the full cost of what you've chosen. The fourth day is when things fracture. I'm actually reading, not pretending when the apartment's security system chimes. Val is in a call, but he holds up a hand and pulls up video feeds on his laptop. I watch his face go completely neutral, which is worse than anger. "There's a problem," he says quietly, ending the call. The problem is Sergei's son, Marco, Valentino's cousin. He arrives with 2 of his uncle's men, and the atmosphere in the apartment becomes something suffocating. Marco is Val's age, but softer, somehow better groomed, more polished, the kind of organized crime heir who learned about power from privilege rather than necessity. "Little cousin," Marco says, embracing Valentino with false warmth. His eyes flick to me. "And this is the heart girl, the lawyer. Eleanor," I say. "Eleanor." He smiles, and it's the smile of someone who's already planning something. "I've heard so much about you. Your firm's involvement with Meridian Holdings is actually quite impressive, even for someone compromised. You have options." "She's not open to options," Valentino says quietly. "Sergei thinks she should be. Sergei thinks you're allowing your dick to make decisions that affect the family enterprise. Sergei suggests that the heart girl might be more useful to the Volkov organization than to us." Marco sits down, completely at home. He's prepared a very generous offer. Protected status, new identity, significant compensation. All she has to do is testify that Valentino coerced her into silence, that she was threatened. She helps us take down our dear little cousin, and she walks away. The silence is absolute. I can feel Val's rage like heat from a fire. But his voice, when he speaks, is perfectly controlled. "Tell my uncle that if he makes this offer a second time, I'm going to put his favorite restaurant, the one where he eats lunch every Tuesday on the harbor, with him inside it. Valentino, come on, this is business. This is betrayal." Val stands. His hand finds his jacket. "Leave. Now. Tell Sergei I'll be in touch about how we're restructuring the North Brooklyn operations. And tell him that the heart girl is off limits. Completely. Any contact, any offer, any mention of her name in his presence constitutes an action against my interests. And you know what I do to people who act against my interests." Marco leaves with his men, but the damage is already done. I can see it in the way Val's hands shake as he pours a drink, in the way his jaw clenches, in the fact that he's just declared war on his own family for me. You didn't have to do that, I say quietly. Yes, I did. He's looking out the window at the city. I made a choice. Now I have to defend it. You're not a tool anymore. You're not leverage. He stops, doesn't finish. I'm what? He turns to look at me, and his eyes are very dark, very desperate. You're the only thing I care about that isn't connected to power. You're the only person in this life who sees me and doesn't want something. That makes you dangerous to everyone who knows about you. So I have to keep you, Eleanor, not because it's smart, because it's the only choice that doesn't destroy me. The rain has started again. His apartment feels smaller suddenly, like the walls are breathing inward. Your family will come for me, I whisper. I know. They'll kill me. I know. Then why let me stay? He crosses to me and takes my face in his hands with startling gentleness. His forehead touches mine. Because you're the first true thing in my life, and I'm not strong enough to give you up just because it's dangerous. I've never been that strong. The safe house is in Westchester, perched on 5 acres of land that belongs to a shell corporation that traces back to an accountant Val's family killed in 1994. No one living knows about it, which is, Val explains, the only reason we're still breathing. We arrive at midnight in a car with false plates, driven by a man named Dimitri who doesn't speak and whose hands suggest a career in violence. The house is modern glass and steel, very cold, very exposed. Paradoxically, the only safe place left is a fortress. We'll stay here until I can negotiate with Sergei, Val says. He's been quiet since we left the city. That controlled calm that means his brain is running calculations I can't follow. 3 weeks, maybe 4, long enough for him to understand that the cost of moving against you is his own son's corpse, and a very public war that would invite attention from the feds. And if he doesn't negotiate, then we disappear. Canada, Costa Rica, Australia. Somewhere far enough away that my reach doesn't extend, and his doesn't either. The rooms are sparse but comfortable. A kitchen that's never been used. A master bedroom with a view of empty land. A study with a locked safe. Everything is very clean. Very prepared for a long siege. That night, I can't sleep. I find Val in the study, sitting in the dark with a glass of vodka and the weight of an empire on his shoulders. He doesn't turn around when I enter. You should rest, he says. I don't want to rest. I move to the chair beside him. I want to know what you're thinking. That I've made a catastrophic mistake. That I've let someone I barely know destabilize everything I've spent 20 years building. That my family will move against me with violence because I chose you over loyalty, and you will die because I made a romantic decision. It's the most honest thing he said. I could leave, I offer. Walk away. You could negotiate with your uncle, tell him I escaped, that I'm gone. You could save yourself. I could. He finally looks at me. But I won't. Because the moment I let someone take what's mine, I become weak. And weakness in my world is contagious. Within 6 months, someone more ambitious would challenge me. Within a year, I'd be dead. So keeping you isn't romantic, Eleanor. It's survival. It's proving that I'm still in control, still capable of protecting what matters. That's not comforting. No, but it's honest. He reaches out, and his hand wraps around my wrist. Not rough, just firm, like anchoring me. You chose this. You chose to become the thing I protect. You have to accept what that means, that my need to keep you alive is fundamental, that I would burn cities to do it, that there is nothing you could do that would make me let you go. That's obsessive. Yes, that's not love. No. But it's something equally dangerous. It's ownership. It's claiming you so completely that your safety is the same as my survival. His grip tightens. And in my world, Eleanor, ownership is as close to love as people like me are capable of. So I need you to understand you're not my girlfriend. You're not my partner. You're mine. Completely. Irrevocably. And I'm yours in exactly the same way. We own each other now. There's no escape from that. I should be horrified. Some part of me is. But another part, the part that's been hollow my entire life, feels full for the first time. Show me, I whisper. He stands, and he's very close, and his hand moves from my wrist to my throat with stunning gentleness. His thumb presses against my pulse. I can feel your heart, he says. It's fast. You're scared. Yes. Good. You should be. His other hand comes up to my face, cupping it like I'm something fragile. I'm going to kiss you now, and when I do, You're going to understand exactly what it means to belong to me. You're going to understand that every kiss is a contract, every touch is a claim, and every moment you spend in my presence is you confirming that you choose this over everything else. His mouth touches mine, and it's not tender, it's not gentle. It's a claiming, a statement of absolute possession, and I'm drowning in it. His hand moves from my throat to my collarbone, pressing down with just enough force that I feel it, acknowledge it, surrender to it. When he pulls away, I'm breathless. Do you understand? He asks. Yes. Repeat it back to me. I belong to you, completely, and you belong to me. Good. He picks me up, literally lifts me from the chair, and carries me from the study toward the bedroom. Now I'm going to spend the rest of the night showing you all the ways I plan to keep you. The days blur together after that. The world outside the house becomes abstract. The news reports of my disappearance become background noise. My family's desperate search becomes something happening to someone else. There is only the house, only Val, only the careful negotiation of what it means to be claimed by someone who sees ownership as love. He teaches me about the family business, not directly, but through fragments, phone calls he takes while I'm reading beside him, conversations with Dimitri about shipments and territories, maps he reviews of the city divided into spheres of influence. I learn that organized crime is just capitalism without the legal framework. That power flows like currency. That morality is a luxury for people with choices. He also teaches me about vulnerability. On the 6th day, he wakes up in the dark, gasping, his body drenched in sweat. I hold him through it, a nightmare he won't explain. In the morning, his eyes are very red. I killed someone once, he says quietly, standing at the window with coffee he hasn't touched. A woman. She was trying to extort money from my father. She had evidence of something he'd done, so I was sent to make her disappear. What happened? I killed her. I was 19. And I've been killing people, in larger or smaller quantities, ever since. Until I met you, I never questioned it. It was just what men in my family do. We kill threats. We eliminate obstacles. We maintain power. He turns to look at me. Now, every time I think about what I've done, I wonder what you think of me. Whether you hate me. Whether you're pretending to accept this because you're terrified. Are you asking if I want to leave? I'm asking if you understand what you're staying for. If you really understand that there's no redemption for people like me, that the best I can offer is honesty about how dark this is. I stand and walk to him. I take his face in my hands the way he's taught me to with absolute certainty. I stayed because I saw myself in you. I say, I stayed because I'm not good. I'm not innocent. I stayed because I read that Meridian Holdings file, and I didn't turn you in, not because I was forced, but because some part of me wanted to know what it felt like to be on the side of power instead of serving it. You're not offering me redemption. You're offering me the life I actually want, finally, with full knowledge of the cost. His hand comes up to my throat, and for a moment I think he might squeeze. Instead, he kisses me with a tenderness that feels like breaking. I love you, he says into my mouth, in the only way I'm capable of, completely, obsessively, dangerously. You understand? Yes, I say. I understand. And I do. It's the 8th day when the call comes. Val is in the study reviewing financial reports. Money, he's explained, is the real power, and the violence is just enforcement. I'm reading the Baudelaire that started everything, finally understanding the French well enough to appreciate the darkness of the language. The phone rings with a tone that means it's someone important. He doesn't take it in the study. Instead, he walks past me to the master bedroom and closes the door. I don't follow. I've learned the boundaries of this ownership. There are things I don't ask about. There are conversations that are his alone to have. But I can hear his voice through the wall, and it's wrong. It's thin, almost panicked. When he emerges 40 minutes later, his face has changed. The control is still there, but it's cracked, like a building with its foundation compromised. We need to talk, he says, and my stomach drops because those words never precede anything good. We sit on the leather sofa in the living room, and he doesn't sit close. He sits across from me, and the distance feels like abandonment. That was my Uncle Sergei. My heart is moving very fast. Marco's dead. 2 hours ago, he was found in his apartment in the city, with 2 bullets in his skull. It's going to be ruled a robbery, but we both know what it was. Val's hands are shaking. Actually shaking. I've never seen him lose control. It was a message from someone in the organization. Someone who thought I'd gone weak. Someone who thought killing my cousin would drive a wedge between Sergei and me, would allow them to consolidate power. Did they? I don't know. That's what terrifies me. He stands and walks to the window, and I can see how much effort it takes for him to maintain the facade of calm. I have to go back to the city, he continues. I have to make a show of force. I have to prove that killing someone I'm connected to is a mistake that costs everything. I have to do things that will make you hate me, Eleanor. Things that will push this past the point where you can pretend I'm anything other than what I am. Then don't go. Let me disappear. Let you disappear. Start over somewhere else. He laughs, and it's bitter. You still don't understand. There's no starting over. There's no escape from this life. There's only the choice to own it or be destroyed by it. He turns to face me. I'm going back to the city. I'm going to call a sit-down with everyone I need to call a sit-down with, and I'm going to systematically take apart whoever decided to move against me. It will take a week, maybe 2, maybe longer, and while I'm doing that, you're going to stay here, and you're going to understand that the man you've been touching, the man you've been kissing, is a monster. I already know that. No, you know it intellectually, but you haven't seen it yet. You haven't watched me do it. He walks back to me, and he's very close, and his hand touches my face with a gentleness that seems impossible given what he's about to say. When this is over, you might not want me anymore. You might look at me and see only the bodies, only the blood, only the things I'm going to do to people because they challenged my authority. And if I don't, if I still want you, then you're darker than I thought, and we deserve each other. He leaves at dawn with Dmitri and 2 other men whose names he doesn't give me. The house becomes a prison. Not because of locks he doesn't lock me in, but because there's nowhere to go, and the outside world has become completely abstract. News reports arrive through the limited internet access organized crime violence in Brooklyn. A gang war heating up. 3 bodies found in a warehouse in Red Hook. 3 bodies. I know that 3 is his score. 3 is Valentino keeping score, settling debts, proving that moving against him was the worst decision anyone could make. The isolation is worse than the danger. I read the same Baudelaire poems until I can recite them. I walk the perimeter of the house. I think about my mother, who probably isn't searching anymore. My career is gone. My friends are gone. My entire former life has been cauterized. On the 5th day, he calls. I miss you, he says immediately. No greeting, just the truth. Where are you? A safe house in Queens. I'm with someone you need to know exists. My mother. She wanted to meet you. She wanted to understand what made me so stupid as to fall in love with a girl I knew for 4 days before claiming her as mine. Despite everything, I laugh. She doesn't approve. She approves entirely. She says I inherited her taste in people we both prefer, partners who terrify us. She's been running the books for the family for 30 years, while my father played with the violence. She says I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. She also says I should marry you quickly, before someone uses you to destroy me. I'm a lawyer. I can't exactly marry you. I'm technically dead. Yes, you can. My mother knows a judge who's very flexible with documentation. We can be married by Monday, officially and illegally. Your choice. I'm silent for a long moment. Tell me about the bodies, I say quietly. One was someone Sergei had been paying for information about my movements. One was Marco's second in command, who thought he could inherit the family power. One was a dealer who thought a moment of weakness meant he could expand into my territory. Did you kill them yourself? The first one, yes. The other 2 were handled by people I employ. But I made sure they understood that the order came from me. I made sure they understood that anyone who challenges me is choosing death. Valentino, that's monstrous? Yes. You said you understood that. I thought I did. I didn't realize what understanding it actually meant. There's silence on the line. I can hear the city in the background, the sounds of a world continuing without me. Do you want to leave me? He asks quietly, and I realize I have to think about this. I have to actually consider it. Because he's right, I haven't watched him be the monster. I've only theorized about it. I want to know if the people you killed deserved it. I say finally. Does that matter? It matters to me. Another long silence. Then, the first one was going to sell information about us to the feds. He would have destroyed the entire family operation. The second one was trying to use his position to build his own power base at the expense of family profits. The third was someone I actually respected. But he made a choice to expand without permission, which meant he was directly challenging my authority. In my world, that's a capital crime. That's not justice. That's just power. I know. That's the point. That's what this world is. His voice is very tired suddenly. That's why I tried to keep you separate from it. Eleanor. That's why I wanted you to be the one thing in my life that was untouched by the blood and the money and the bodies. But I am touched by it. I chose to be touched by it. I chose you, I know. And I'm going to spend the rest of our lives grateful for that choice, and terrified that you'll regret it. Marry me, Eleanor. Let me make you irreversibly mine. Let me do this one legal thing in my entire life. I say yes before I can think of reasons not to. Good. I'll be back by Sunday. We'll be married by Monday. And then you'll understand exactly what you're bound to, because you'll have the law on your side, and the law will mean absolutely nothing. Sunday arrives like a threat. I've spent the 72 hours between his call and his return in a state of careful dissociation. I've showered obsessively, as if clean skin might absolve me of my complicity. I've looked at wedding dresses online, trying on white and ivory and cream in my mind, trying to understand how a woman becomes a bride to a man who kills without hesitation. I've thought about my mother, about what she would say if she could see me, about whether disappearing from her life was kinder than letting her watch what I'm becoming. When the car pulls up to the safe house, I'm waiting at the window. He emerges looking like war. His suit is immaculate, but there's something in his face that's been burned away. Some essential softness that I'd glimpsed the capacity to care about something beyond power has calcified into something harder. His eyes find mine through the glass, and I feel the distance between us, even as he walks toward the door. Hi, I say when he enters, and it's stupidly inadequate. He doesn't respond immediately. Instead, he walks to me and cups my face with both hands, his thumbs tracing my cheekbones with a tenderness that contradicts everything I know about what those hands have done. I killed someone for you, he says quietly. My breath stops. What? The man who called the SEC, the assistant U.S. attorney who built the case against your firm, the one who would have called you to testify, whose investigation destroyed your career. I found out it was his choice, his personal vendetta against your firm for beating him on a case 5 years ago, so I eliminated him. I did it myself. I wanted you to know that I'm capable of that, of killing someone you've never met, someone who didn't directly challenge me just because they hurt you. I try to step back, but his hands keep me in place. Valentino, that's what happens when you belong to me, Eleanor. That's what it means to have me as yours. People who hurt you stop existing. I can't promise you redemption. I can only promise you absolute protection, purchased with the blood of people who don't deserve to die but get to anyway. How many? I whisper. How many what? How many people have you killed since I met you? He doesn't answer immediately. When he does, his voice is very quiet. 9. Not including the original 3. 4 of them had nothing to do with our situation. I killed them because they were useful to kill, because it sent messages, because it maintained the ecosystem of fear that keeps people in line. You asked me to marry you knowing this. You know what that means. I pull away from him, and this time he lets me. I walk to the window, and the landscape outside is dark, moonless, completely impenetrable. I thought I understood, I say. But understanding and accepting are different things. You've killed 9 people. I can't finish. That's the cost of having me. That's the cost of being mine. He's behind me now, very close, and I can feel him like a gravitational field. I'm not going to apologize for it, Eleanor. I'm not going to pretend it was difficult, or that I feel remorse. I did what needed to be done to protect you, and I would do it again without hesitation. If you can't accept that, now is the time to say so. I turn to face him, and he's completely still, completely controlled, waiting for me to destroy him or accept him. Did one of those 9 people have a family? I ask. All of them. Wives, children, parents. Grief will ripple outward from what I did. People will suffer because of my choices, and you don't care. I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. I care about you. I care about maintaining power. Everything else is irrelevant to me. The honesty of it is almost beautiful. There's no pretense, no attempt to be anything other than exactly what he is. I need to know something, I say. I need to know why you're telling me this now. Why you're forcing me to see exactly what you are, instead of letting me pretend. Because I'm done protecting you from the truth. Because if we're going to do this, if we're going to build something together, it can't be built on the fiction that I'm anything other than a monster. It has to be built on the absolute clarity that you're choosing a man who kills without hesitation, without remorse, with only the emotional calculation of whether it's necessary to maintain his power. He steps closer. I need you to look at me and see a killer. And I need you to choose me anyway. Not because you're confused or romantic or delusional, but because you're dark enough, broken enough, to understand that this is the only kind of love available to people like us. I look at him, really look at him, and I see the young man he was before the violence, before the family, before the choices that carved him into this. I see him, and I see myself, a woman who read a file she shouldn't have read, who stayed silent when she should have spoken, who descended into this because some part of me was desperate to stop pretending. I want to walk away, I tell him. I want to be the person who says this is too much, who says she can't be with someone who does what you do. I want to be better than this, but you're not going to walk away. No, I'm not going to walk away. He reaches out, and his hand wraps around my neck with just enough pressure that I feel the weight of all 9 deaths in that touch. Then we get married tomorrow, he says. We make it official. We bind ourselves legally, morally, permanently. And you accept exactly what this means, that you're going to spend your life knowing what I do, possibly watching me do it, definitely benefiting from it. Are you ready for that? No, I say, but I'm doing it anyway. His mouth touches mine, and it tastes like blood and promises and the permanent dissolution of the woman I was. We get married at 10 a.m. on a Monday in a brownstone in Brooklyn Heights. The judge is a woman in her 60s named Abrams, who clearly has no interest in questions about our legitimacy. The witness is Val's mother, Elena, who is elegant and terrifying in exactly the way her son is beautiful, because she's dangerous, not despite it. She studies me with the intensity of someone assessing whether I'm strong enough to survive what I'm choosing, and when Val slips a ring onto my finger, platinum, simple, unadorned, she nods with approval. He'll destroy you, Elena says to me in Italian, which she doesn't know I understand. Or you'll destroy each other. Either way, it's better than watching him destroy himself alone. The legal documents are falsified. Eleanor Hart doesn't technically exist anymore. I'm Emma Rossi now, wife of Valentino Rossi, member of the Resi family by marriage. It's an identity built on lies, but it's the most real I've ever felt. We don't have a honeymoon. Instead, we go back to the Red Hook safe house, a different one, more fortified, with security systems that suggest heavy ammunition and paranoia. The city outside is moving toward winter, and I can feel the weather changing in my bones. For 3 days, everything is almost normal. We eat together. Val works from a secure office with carefully encrypted communications. I read and explore the house and try to integrate the knowledge of what he is with the man who brings me coffee in the morning, who listens to me talk about the books I'm reading, who watches me with an intensity that feels like being hunted. It's the 4th day when the violence finds us. We're in bed mourning, light coming through the reinforced windows, the city beginning its day outside. Val is half asleep beside me, his arm across my waist, his breathing steady. I'm reading news on the phone he gave me, watching the world move forward without knowing I exist in it. There's an explosion, not close, a block away, maybe 2. But the windows rattle, the building itself shifts. Val's eyes snap open, and I watch him transform. The man I'm married to vanishes, replaced by a thing of pure operational instinct. Stay here. Lock the door. Don't open it for anyone but me. He's already moving, already pulling on pants, already reaching for the gun in the nightstand. What's happening? Someone just tried to kill me. The explosion is followed by sirens. The city convulsing with emergency response. I lock the bedroom door and press my ear against it, hearing Val and Dimitri and 3 other men discussing something in rapid Italian that my limited vocabulary can't fully translate. But I catch the words, bomba, attacco, familia. It's a family attack. The next 6 hours are a study in controlled siege. Val moves through the safe house, issuing orders, taking calls, making decisions that send men into action. I sit in the bedroom and watch through the reinforced windows as police and fire trucks move through the city. Somewhere, someone has exploded something. Someone is dead or dying, and it happened because of me. Because Val married a woman who made him weak enough to be targeted. By evening, I know the truth. The bomb was meant for Val but killed 3 members of an Italian family instead. People who happened to have dinner at the restaurant above the bomb site. 75 civilians are in hospitals, 12 people are dead. Val's uncle Sergei is claiming responsibility for the bombing, saying it was retaliation for Marco's death. War has been declared. Val comes to me at midnight, covered in what I desperately hope isn't blood. His shirt is torn, his knuckles are raw. We need to leave New York, he says. Sergei is escalating beyond reason. He's willing to kill civilians to prove he's still in control. That changes the calculus. The feds will be involved now. The NYPD will increase surveillance. This city isn't safe. Where do we go? Miami. I have infrastructure there. Different family, less complicated relationship. We can disappear for 6 months, let this burn down, come back when the dust settles. He sits on the bed, and for the first time since I've known him, he looks tired. Not just physically tired, soul tired. 9 people are dead or dying because of me, he says quietly. Most of them had nothing to do with any of this. They were just people eating dinner. I move to him and take his face in my hands. His skin is cold. That wasn't you, I say. That was Sergei. That was the consequence of my existence. That was what happens when people like me fight for power. The city bleeds. His hands come up to my wrists. I killed 9 people to protect you. And now, indirectly, I've killed 9 more to escalate a family war that started with Marco's death. At what point does the death toll from my protection of you become worse than the alternative? Don't ask me that. Why not? You're the only person in my life who might actually answer honestly. I lean down and kiss him, tasting salt and ash, and the particular bitterness of someone confronting their own monstrosity. When I pull away, I look directly into his eyes. The death toll was always going to be high, I say. You were always going to be dangerous. I chose this knowing that. I married you knowing that. I'm not going to let you give me an out now by asking me if I regret it. I don't regret it. I regret that civilians died. I regret that your uncle is willing to destroy the city to prove a point. But I don't regret you. I don't regret us. He brings my hand to his mouth and holds it there for a long moment. Forgive me anyway, he whispers against my palm. For what? For what I'm about to do. For what I'm about to become. To keep us alive. Miami is warm and foreign and full of the kind of danger that feels more distant because it's unfamiliar. We arrive by private plane and move into a penthouse in Brickell that overlooks the water. The family structure here is different, less old-school Italian, more international. Val's authority extends here through money and strategic relationships rather than blood. He navigates it with the ease of someone who understands that power is contextual, that different cities require different approaches. But even in paradise, the violence follows. There's a shooting in a nightclub. 3 of Val's men and 2 of his competitors are dead. There's a warehouse fire that kills 7 people. There's a car bomb that's clearly meant as a message, fortunately detonated when the car is empty. But the message is clear. Sergei's reach is longer than Val calculated. Each escalation makes Val quieter. Each death adds weight to the way he moves through the world. By the 3rd week in Miami, he looks like someone carrying a body. I'm losing, he tells me one night, standing on the penthouse balcony overlooking Biscayne Bay. My uncle is willing to sacrifice anything to prove I'm vulnerable, and every move I make to demonstrate strength just gives him more justification for further escalation. I'm in a war I can't win without destroying everything I'm trying to protect. Us, I say. You. I'm trying to protect you. I stand beside him at the railing, and the night is warm, and the water is dark, and I finally understand the complete architecture of what he's fighting. Then stop, I say. Stop trying to protect me. Let me protect myself. We disappear, actually disappear. New names, new country, new life that has nothing to do with the Resi family, or the Versailles family, or any of this. We just stop. I can't. Why not? Because it would mean admitting defeat. Because there are men who depend on me. Because walking away proves that I'm not capable of maintaining power. And in my world, that's a death sentence. Someone will come for me eventually, and they'll come for you too. He turns to face me, and his eyes are breaking. I'm trapped, Eleanor. I became trapped the moment I was born into this family, and I've trapped you with me. That's the part that destroys me most. I take his face in my hands, and I realize I'm the one anchoring him now. Then we find a way out that doesn't involve leaving, I say. Then we use the thing I know that started all of this. Tell me what else my firm's lawyers knew. Tell me what other politicians and judges and cops are on your family's payroll. Tell me the infrastructure. And we build something with it. We take control of the narrative instead of running from it. That's insane. Yes. But you've already killed 18 people for me. This seems like a reasonable alternative. He pulls me close, and he's laughing, actually laughing, even as his eyes glisten. God, I love you, he says. I love that you're as broken as I am. I love that you're suggesting we commit espionage against my own family. I love that you make me want to be something other than what I am. Then let's try. Let's try to become something other than this. Getting information is easier than I expect. The key is that I'm an outsider who understands systems, legal systems, financial systems, communication systems. I spend 2 weeks accessing files that Val has never thought to review with detail, speaking to his accountants about money flows that seem innocuous until you chart them backwards. I discover that the Resi family's reach extends into 12 city governments, 4 police departments, and at least 30 judges across 3 states. I also discover something darker. Val's uncle Sergey has been skimming money for years. Millions of dollars diverted to offshore accounts using the same shell corporation infrastructure that Val set up. It's why he's escalating. He's desperate to consolidate power before the financial situation collapses and someone discovers what he's done. The question becomes, what do we do with this information? We go to the FBI, I say, and Val laughs like I've suggested we volunteer at a children's hospital. And tell them what? That I'm a crime boss's wife with knowledge of family financial infrastructure? They'll turn me immediately. They'll also use the information to build a case against Sergey. And if Sergey goes down, you're suddenly the face of legitimacy that the family might rebuild under. You become the alternative to his corruption. You want me to cooperate with the feds. I want you to cooperate with the feds enough to eliminate your uncle. Then I want you to use the resulting power to slowly, systematically dismantle this. Legitimize the money. Disengage from the violence. Become something other than what you are. Val is quiet for a long time, standing at the window of our Miami penthouse, watching the city lights reflect off the water. That's not how this works, he says finally. You don't just decide to be different. You don't climb out of an ocean of blood and become a functioning member of society. I'm not capable of that transformation. You are. You're just scared. I'm not scared of change. I'm scared of what I become without the power, without the control, without the ability to protect you through fear and violence. I move to him and take his hand. I know, I say quietly. That's why I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here while you're becoming something different. I'm going to be here when it's terrifying and wrong and when you want to go back. I'm going to remind you why you chose differently. He brings my hand to his chest, and I can feel his heart beating under my palm. If I do this, if I cooperate with the FBI, if I help bring down my uncle and his associates, they'll want me to testify. They'll want everything. I know. I'll go to prison. For all the things I've done, all the people I've killed, all the crimes I've committed. They won't just prosecute Sergey. They'll prosecute me. I know. And you'll still stay? I'll still stay. He pulls me very close, and I feel him shake. Actually shake. And I realize he's crying the first time I've seen him break completely. His face is buried in my hair, and his shoulders are moving, and he's making sounds that suggest something inside him is finally fracturing. I don't deserve you, he whispers. No, you don't. But I'm staying anyway. The FBI contact arrives in a rental car to a safe house outside of FT, Lauderdale. Her name is Agent Reeves, and she's approximately Val's age, which immediately makes me understand why he's tense. She's also very competent, which makes the interaction businesslike instead of dramatic. Your wife has provided preliminary information regarding Sergey Rezi's financial activities and corruption infrastructure, Reeves says, sitting across from Val with the kind of detachment that suggests she spent years interviewing criminals. We're interested in moving forward with a cooperative agreement. You provide testimony, documentation, and assistance building a case against Sergey and his associates. In exchange, we negotiate a sentencing agreement that takes your cooperation into account. How many years are we talking? Val asks. Conservatively? 15 to 20. That accounts for the murders we can directly tie to you. The ones where we don't have physical evidence we'd need your testimony to prove. Val nods like she's just told him the weather forecast. I'll need guarantees for my wife's safety. Full witness protection if necessary. And I'll need guarantees that we cooperate with the prosecution, but that I don't testify until after Sergey is arrested. I want to see my family fracture because of his crimes, not because of my testimony. That's strategically sound, Reeves says, and there's something like respect in her voice. I'll need to consult with my supervisors, but I think we can work with that. When she leaves, Val turns to me, and his face is very controlled. This is really happening, he says. Yes, by this time next year, I could be in a federal prison. Yes. And you're going to visit me. You're going to be in a visitation room with glass between us, and you're going to pretend this is acceptable. I'm going to be grateful you chose differently. And yes, I'm going to visit you, and I'm going to wait for you. He stands and walks away from me, pacing the small safe house like a caged animal. That's not love, Eleanor. That's obsession. That's you being as trapped as I am, except you're doing it willingly. Yes, I say simply. It is, and I'm doing it anyway. He stops pacing and looks at me, and there's something like wonder in his expression. You're darker than I am, he says. I've been trying to prove I'm capable of monstrosity, but you're just willing to burn the entire world down for one person. You're the thing nightmares should be afraid of. I know. I'm finally starting to understand myself that well. He comes back to me and pulls me into his arms, and we stand there in the small safe house listening to the sound of waves in the distance. I'm going to call Agent Reeves, he says. I'm going to tell her yes. I'm going to start the process of building the case against my uncle, and I'm going to spend the next weeks preparing for what happens when I betray my family for you. We're preparing for it, together. Together, he repeats, and it sounds like a prayer. The arrest happens on a Tuesday in January. Sergei is taken into custody at his favorite restaurant in Red Hook, the same one where Valentino and I had our first dinner, before everything became tangled and bloody. The news shows Sergei in a coat, his hands cuffed, his face showing nothing but the deep exhaustion of a man whose world has ended. 13 other members of the Resi family are arrested simultaneously: judges, police captains, corrupt city officials, money launderers who've been running the infrastructure for decades. Val watches it on television with the remote control in one hand, and he doesn't change expression. That's my family, he says quietly. That's my legacy. That's everything I fought to maintain. That's also the beginning of something different, I remind him. The legal process is long and complex. Val's attorney, a brilliant woman named Sandra Huang, who specializes in complex white-collar crime cases, negotiates the cooperation agreement carefully. Val will plead guilty to 7 counts of murder, multiple counts of racketeering, conspiracy, money laundering. In exchange for his testimony, his sentence will be reduced to 13 years with the possibility of parole after 9. 9 years. Almost a decade of my life in visitation rooms. Almost a decade of legally binding myself to someone I can only touch through glass. I accept it the way he does, with the understanding that this is what commitment costs. Some people wait for their partners while they're away at war. Some people visit hospital rooms. I'm going to visit a federal penitentiary. It's not different in kind, only in the specifics. Val's confession is handled with precision. He meets with the FBI multiple times, walking through each murder, each decision, each moment of violence with the kind of brutal honesty that makes even Agent Reeves visibly uncomfortable. He doesn't minimize. He doesn't justify. He simply states facts. I killed this person. For this reason. In this manner. When it comes time for him to testify against his uncle, he does it without hesitation. The courtroom is packed: journalists, family members who still care, lawyers who've made careers out of organized crime prosecution. Sergei sits at the defendant's table with the expression of someone who's just realized he's been completely outmaneuvered. Mr. Resi, the prosecutor says, can you tell the court how long your uncle has been skimming money from family operations? 7 years, approximately. It started small, a few $100,000 per month diverted to offshore accounts. By last year, he was moving approximately $2 million monthly outside of family accounting. And how did this come to your attention? My wife conducted a financial analysis of family operations. She discovered discrepancies in the accounting that indicated systematic theft. The judge's eyes flick to me, sitting in the gallery. There's a moment of pause, the understanding that I am the variable that changed everything. And what did you do with this information? I contacted the FBI and offered to cooperate. Sergei's attorney stands and begins cross-examination, but there's no real point. Val has given up everything. There's nothing left to defend. The sentencing hearing happens on a gray March morning. The judge, an older woman named Morrison, who seems to genuinely dislike everyone in the room, listens to victim impact statements. Families of people Val killed stand up and talk about the holes his actions created. A mother cries. A brother barely contains his rage. A widow talks about raising her children alone. I watch Val listen to all of it without flinching. He's accepted the cost. He's made peace with the weight of what he's done. That doesn't make it easier to hear, but it makes it possible. His attorney argues for leniency based on cooperation. The prosecutor acknowledges his assistance in building the case against Sergei and his organization. And then the judge speaks. Mr. Resi, do you have anything to say before I impose sentence? Val stands, and he looks directly at me. Only for a moment, but it's long enough that I understand he's saying goodbye. I want the families of my victims to know that no amount of time in prison will equal what I've taken from them, he says. I want them to know that I recognize that. I also want them to know that my cooperation against my uncle and his associates wasn't an act of redemption. I don't believe I can be redeemed. I committed these crimes knowingly. I profited from them. The only reason I cooperated with the government is because someone I love gave me a reason to choose differently going forward. That's not redemption. That's just choosing a different future. 13 years, the judge says. Federal facility, eligible for parole after 9 years. Next case. The next 6 months happen in a blur of administrative arrangements. Val is transferred to a federal facility in upstate New York. I hire a real estate agent and sell the penthouse in Miami. I rent an apartment in a small town an hour from the prison, somewhere affordable, somewhere far enough away from the city to be safe, somewhere I can live while I wait. The night before he's transferred, we spend together in a hotel room in New York. We don't talk much. We just exist in the same space, knowing that this is the last night we'll be able to touch without a glass partition between us for at least 9 years. You could leave, he says at 3 a.m. You could take the money I've set aside for you and disappear. Build a new life. Meet someone who isn't imprisoned. No, I say. You could. I know I could, but I won't. I chose to belong to you. That's not a choice that ends just because you're in prison. He's very quiet for a long moment. I love you, he says. I don't know if you understand how much. I love you enough to want you to leave, to want you to be free of this. And I love you enough to know you won't go, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm sorry for that all at the same time. I kiss him, and it tastes like the end of something, and the beginning of something else. Something smaller, less violent, but no less real. 9 years later, I'm waiting in the prison visitation room when they bring him in. My hands shake as I stand. 9 years of looking at him through glass, of having conversations through a phone, of loving someone I could only touch once every 3 months when the prison allowed special contact visits. He's thinner. His hair has gray in it now. There's something in his face that prison has carved out, and something else that's grown in to replace it. A kind of peace that comes from having nothing left to lose. He sits across from me, and we can touch now. He's been released. The parole board decided that his cooperation, combined with his time served, was sufficient. He's been given a second chance, conditional, limited, but real. His hand covers mine on the table. Hi, he says. Hi, I say back. Thank you for waiting. Where else would I be? He reaches across the table and touches my face with the same gentleness he used on the night we met, when everything was dangerous and simple and perfect in its complexity. We're going to have to figure out how to live, he says. How to exist in the world when we're not defined by crime or prison. I know. We'll figure it out. It's going to be difficult. I know. It's going to be boring sometimes. I know. He smiles, the first real smile I've seen in 9 years, and it transforms his face into something almost vulnerable. Good, he says. Then let's start. We walk out of the prison together, and the February sun is very bright, and the world is waiting. We don't know what happens next. We don't have guarantees that we'll make it, that we can build something functional from the wreckage of what we've destroyed. But we're walking forward anyway, hand in hand, 2 people shaped by darkness, learning how to exist in daylight. That's not redemption. Val was right about that. Redemption isn't possible for people like us. But this uncertain future, this choice to stay bound to each other, this faith that we can become something other than what we were, this is something better. This is just surviving. And sometimes, that's enough.